So yes, thank you so much. It has been amazing to discover all the efforts and the projects and everything you are doing from the different city science labs. Incredible. So now, yes, I would like just to make a short recap in order to let you know a better, for a better understanding on how we are working here in our country. From Andorra Research and Innovation, we are divided into areas, the research and innovation, but they work together in order to show different solutions or different approaches to the challenges that we are facing. In the middle of this, you can see that we are working on mountain projects, sustainability projects, society. We also have a small group that is focused on divulgate what we are doing, because at the end, if we make research or make innovation, but we cannot share with the society, we are not probably making our job. No? Everything is interconnected, also through technology and the Agency of Innovation. And altogether, we are a team of 50 people working, approaching different projects. And what more or less, we are now working on 150 actions or projects, like I have told you now. We make research, we make innovation, we test, and we fail. We fail a lot. We love to fail because we want to learn. And when we fail, we learn, we continue iterating. And then this is something that for us is really important. And we don't do this alone at all. We are always trying to collaborate and to open our walls for working all together, connected with national collaborators and also international collaborators. Because we think it's the way, because we are a small country with small teams, so this is what we do. And the question about what drives us to transform, no? What happens here in Andorra? Andorra is a country that has grown a lot in population in the last years. As you can see, well, in the last 25 years, the demographics has been increased up at 20% only in 25 years. So, and we are continue growing. That is happening every day. More people is coming here, and the economy is growing. And well, it could seem the dream of the society, but the fact is that it has not been planned. It has been really fast after the pandemics, and what we have now is a huge challenge because also if we grow, we need more resources. This is something that happens everywhere, but the limited space that we have in Andorra means that if we continue growing in the automobile fleet or we continue growing on the electrical consumption, means that maybe we will go to a level where it could be different consequences that are not going to be related with well-being or quality of life. The water consumption, of course, is increasing, but the fact is that we had no data before these years. But this is something that we have to keep in mind, because not so many years before, Andorra was like this. Most of you that came in Andorra some years ago, you remember Caldea as the most high tower here in Andorra. It was for us like an amazing building that for us was out of the normal construction. But nowadays, what has happened is that we have a new Andorra. I don't think that some of you have been able to go to Escaldes walking, because you arrived yesterday and you have had not the chance to visit a little bit. But if you have the chance and you go for a walk, you will see a lot of towers there. And it's supposed that we are going to build more towers and more buildings and more everything, because this is something that is allowed under the urbanistic model. But the point now is till when, or which is the maximum or the limit, no? And this is a question that lately has come also to Andorra Research and Innovation, because some of the decisors want to know through the models that we are working on if they can take better decisions on that. So what we are doing now is trying to get the knowledge related with the sustainability and our nature and our biodiversity, because this is something that we have in the balance. If we grow, and we also have to take into account which is our environment and if this is going to have an impact. And I just wanted to share with you 2 or 3 projects. One is the martelloscopy. Martelloscopy for us is a really important project, because what happens is that we are creating a platform where we are able to give a better understanding on the impacts of how to manage your forests and how we can have decisions on the forest. Because till now, the forests have been seen here in Andorra like, wow, we have trees there, we have trees there. We are surrounded of trees, but some of the trees now are starting to be much more stressed because the density of the growth, and we need a better management of the forest. And also because some places that are supposed that it will be buildings, maybe are really strategic to don't be buildings there. So these kind of different approaches now are coming to our reality, and then we are working on that. Also the mobility model, as sometimes we have shared with you, the mobility model that we started some years ago. And bueno, this is really interesting, because at the end is one tool that makes us to understand if our automobilistic fleet is saturated or not, or if we grow a lot, if we have to, which impacts can be there if we try to push more for other kind of mobility transportation. So finally, I would like to also share with you, because we were working also together with other partners in order to get data of the biodiversity of different lakes in our country and also in the Pyrenees, and then compare all this data in order to know if the climate change or the human impacts have an impact on the microorganisms there. Because if we don't know anything on that, at the end, we cannot take nice decisions on, for example, if we are able to organize a really impactful event, a sportive event, for example, as Ironman, in a place where maybe this is going to have a huge impact on the biodiversity that we have here in Andorra, and maybe it's better to do it in another place. So these kind of decisions that maybe some years ago were not so much matched, now we are, at least from Andorra Research and Innovation, we are doing a lot of effort to take into the conscious of the decisions. No? And this is the food waste that I remember that last year in Boston was the first time that I explained it, but we were just starting with the data, and 1 year later, it's growing, and it's amazing, because we didn't have any data of what we are doing or managing our waste, and more in deep, the food waste. And at least we are not isolated nowadays. We can import food from everywhere, whatever. But we also have to be aware what could happen if one day we will be suddenly isolated, because we don't have any production of agricultural and neither of the other kind of food. And sometimes it's also interesting to be analyzed by yourself in order to know what we are doing, if we are sustainable, if we cannot start to do something different. And we have this food waste model that is really interesting to help take decisions on that. Well, this is a small visualization with the data of the different parishes and everything that is connected on the different, if the waste is liquid, organic. Maybe in other cities this is not new, but here in Andorra we had any data of which kind of waste and how manage it. So we are happy. And at the end, we are a small country in the middle of Pyrenees, surrounded of mountains, and also limited with France and Spain. That sometimes we have said that we are innovation area at a country scale, because what happens in Andorra is not so far away. If there is an innovation testing in another parish, it's maybe 10 kilometers away from the central point. Everything is connected, and what we think is that if we can connect all the stakeholders of the society, as we said before, the public sector, the private sector, government, also the universities, and also the research institutions, citizens, of course, everything together has much more impact in order to analyze how we can transform our community. And well, thank you so much. This has been a brief summary of what we are doing. If you want to connect, you are welcome. Thank you so much.